Chris Watkin here, and I'm joined by Paul Vincent, who not only bought one Ewemove franchise, but actually bought two. And today we are going to be talking about your estate agency journey, why the hell you decided to have a Ewemove franchise, why you sold it, why you came back and bought another one. So thank you for joining me today, Paul.
You're welcome.
Excellent. So when did you first become an estate agent, my friend?
So I started in year 2000, so about 20 years ago.
Okay.
I bought a franchise. It was a lettings franchise there.
Which one was that then?
One that's not based too far from here, Belvoir.
Oh, yeah.
Belvoir Lettings. So I started that in 2000, ran that for about 5 years, then got a second franchise, ran that for 10 years. Then decided I wanted to get into sales as well, and at that time they weren't doing sales, so I decided to sell it, cash in, and started my independent.
So did you sell it to another franchisee?
I did, yeah. Another franchisee took it on.
Stuff.
So I took on a sort of partner. He took it over. And then I sort of started my independent agent in 2010, which wasn't the best time in the market then. It was a challenge, but yeah, ran that for 7 years.
Okay, and where was that?
So that was in Stevenage. So my two areas.
St Evenage.
St Evenage, yes. I wasn't allowed to run it in my towns where I had my Beaver franchise for obvious reasons. So we moved a little bit further out in Stevenage, in Hertfordshire. Ran that for 7 years. And then I come across Ewemove.
So you were in Stevenage, doing all, you basically, what made you go from, you had a franchise with Belvoir, you went back into independent estate agency. What the hell made you want to go back in and work under a franchise?
It was not a tough decision. I think it was quite an easy decision because running the independent agent was getting more and more expensive. Rightmove fees, Zoopla fees, technology was moving on with video and 24-hour call answering, all that kind of stuff, online booking of viewings.
Okay. But you can outsource all that to Moneypenny and everyone else.
You can, but it's expensive. And the other thing, it was staff. It was really difficult to get really good quality staff. So in the end, I found out I wasn't doing the agency job. I was just managing a team of 5, 6, 7 people, and because that really wasn't what I enjoyed. I actually loved doing the job. Do you prefer sales or lettings? It's probably lettings, if I'm honest, but sales is good I like the long-term relationships with people. So I had landlords for 8 years that have become almost friends.
Yes.
Where I see sales is just a quick fix, but it's a different business. It's two different businesses within one, really. So.
Okay, so you decide what was the catalyst to saying in 2017, I want to start? It was 2017 that you started. Yeah. Because we had James Hillier on this sofa, just before you just got onto the sofa, and he was saying that he was an independent agent, but he felt that his marketing and his branding. Yeah. He was saying exactly what you were saying. He was pissed off. That's a technical term. Yeah. With running a business, not actually being an estate agent. What made you think I need?
Yeah.
Did you immediately go to Ewemove? Did you do some homework? What made you think, actually, I need to do something different?
Yeah, no, I looked at all the different franchises and I really liked the Ewemove brand, and it was similar to James. It's been getting harder and harder to get an edge. So when you'd go out on an MA, you'd need to get out there, and the marketing was getting really expensive. And when you went out there, it was hard to have an edge, really. They just bought you as a person. But when I come across Ewemove, it was just like, wow, you've got an award-winning brand. I loved the brand. The systems were there.
But isn't it a silly brand? With the silly little sheep and the silly little pink and the silly little green.
Do you know what? People say that to me. They see the boards and go, well, it's a sheep. And I go, well, yeah, but what's a board there for? It's to gain interest.
Yes.
And would you rather have a green sheep with a nice Santa hat on, or would you have a Vincent estate agents there?
There must be some people are put off by the brand.
I've not found it, actually. I mean,
but then they wouldn't be contacting you anyway, would they?
They would.
But do you think it genuinely brings more in?
Well, I've got a lot of business through my boards recently. I've just launched again in sort of May time, so I'm in my first 6 months, and probably most of my business has been through the boards, and we've just added the Santa hats now, which people are really noticing.
So, because we're filming this in December 2020, this will be coming out after Christmas. Okay. So it could be putting some people off, but it's certainly bringing people in. Well, you would have bought it for a second time if it wasn't it. Would you?
No, absolutely. And when I started again looking in sort of March time, I literally went through every proposition on the market. So
for the second time?
Name names. For the second time.
Okay, so you started your one in St Evenage in 2017. What made you sell it?
So I moved areas, and literally it was about 30, 40 miles away, and I thought, you know, this is too much traveling, too much. And I had someone that was part of the PFG group that wanted to buy it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to sell that. I had 6 months off to do a bit of traveling, so I'd never had any time off since I was 17.
Did you go anywhere nice?
Well, I did a motorhome tour of the North Coast 500. So that was brilliant, all around the North Coast of Scotland.
Yes.
And loved that, really. And we did some traveling around Europe. And then I started missing agency again. So that was when I started looking.
I must admit, it's like the Hotel California. You can check out, but you can never leave.
No, absolutely.
I must admit, I
in my blood
crave
now.
to go back into a state agency. And I did actually suggest to the missus that a couple of weeks ago and basically got shut down.
Oh, yes.
She says, I never see you now.
You never see me. Yeah, no, it's all encompassing, but it's good. And you know, I literally did look at every proposition that was on the market at the time, and I just
including the self-employed models like your
all the
Kellers and your
self-employed,
EXPs.
yeah, all of them.
Which ones did you like? Be honest.
I like I like Keller Williams as in the ethos of the company, which was great. But the model in terms of if you wanted to do rentals, you didn't keep much of the money. You know, Ewemove, it's almost like the cost of the license fee is less than Rightmove alone, and you get so much more. And
what do you get for your money?
so you get your Rightmove, your Zoopla, you get your system, your website, you get 24 hour call answering, you get a marketing team, you get software for video, software for you basically get everything you need to sort of start a business. It's incredible, and all for less what it would cost an independent to run Rightmove. So it's a no-brainer, and the completion fees are, for me, it's 5%. So
because with a lot of other models, with the Ewemove model, you've got to pay £1,250 a month for the privilege of
1,000, yeah.
But at least you then haven't got to give 30% of your fee away.
No, that's right. And the successful agents, as you get bigger, that's a lot of money. You know, when I was 20 years ago in Belfast, I was paying them 50,000 a year in royalty fees.
Yeah, well, if you're with some of the models, how would you feel if you're writing a check for 10 grand if you're putting in 30 grand?
So absolutely. So that's what, you know, successful agents. It's a complete, for me, it was a complete no-brainer to go back to Ewemove. So I just couldn't see anything out there. And I loved the ethos of the company, putting the customer first, you know, dealing with the customer from start to finish. It's just, you know, and you are building a business with Ewemove, something that you can, I mean, I've sold 4 businesses and I've probably made just as much selling those as I have in terms of salary. So for me, having an asset that I can build and maybe take a step back in 5-10 years time and get people to run it for me.
Sell it and then get bored and then
get bored and come back, or just take a step back and still have it, but just not get involved quite so much. So that's the plan for me.
What does Nick and the team actually do for you as a person?
Well, the training's great. So I mean, I had 20 years experience, but I still learn stuff every day. So they're always there to support. You've got, you know, your business directors there that are on the phone if you need anything. They're great. They're always looking to, I mean, with anything innovation, you've got to keep pushing the model forward. And
and do you feel that you're curtailed or held back in any way because of the branding?
I think it's just down to you. You're the only person that will hold yourself back. Because I almost, when I go on market appraisals now, it's almost like I've got an abundance of riches. So I think our current rate here is 90% we're converting. Wow. So
how different is it in the fact that the personal agent model on Ewemove allows you, insists that you do everything from start to finish, you know, go and do the viewings, go and do the vowels, go and do the offers, you must do everything. Are you enjoying the job more because you're doing
Absolutely, yeah. And you get to know the person, you get to know the property. You know, with a typical agent model, you'll get someone listing the property, then you get someone else doing the viewings, then you might get someone else on a weekend, and then you've got someone doing sales progression. They're dealing with 4 or 5 people. And
there's something amazing about negging a sale, isn't it?
Yeah. And I did a launch day this weekend. It was first day to the market. I had 12 viewings. I'm 15,000 over asking price offers. It's currently coming in at the moment, and they're happy. They're going to retire. You know, you get to know them. They've set their heart on this new build. There's only one left. They're desperate to get it sold, and you know, I can tell them they've got a great offer. And they can move forward with the next stage of their life, which is the bit that really
and that makes you feel good, does it?
Yeah, to me, it's not money. I think if I do a good job, I'll make money. But it's more about just getting that. You know, I'd rather have a 5-star review and people really happy, and that you're helping people move. That's what really makes it for me.
And what would your message be to any estate agents watching this who are in their 40s and 50s, bored?
I would say, you know, get involved. It's brilliant. You know, the team there, you've got support, you've got an award-winning agency from day one, a brand that works. You know, you've got a marketing team that keeps pumping, giving you really good marketing material to put out there, and it's a brand I think you can compete with on any. We're new to Bishop Stortford. There's agents there with 20 years experience, and I'm getting a 90% success rate. So you think, wow, you're doing something right. So I would say do it, or even join as an associate. If you don't want that run the whole business, you can join an agent and keep 50% of what you earn, and not maybe have the whole running your business criteria. So,
anything else that you want to say to the UK estate agency population?
I would just say it's a great business to be in. It's a people business. I think if you love people and you really want to offer a great service, I think it's a great job. I've been doing it 20 years, and I think definitely check out the Ewemove proposition. And if anyone wants to give me a call, I'm happy to talk to them. And
how do they get hold of you?
They can come through Ewemove Bishop Stortford. They can find our details on there. Drop me a line. I'll talk to anybody that wants to get into the market. I think and I'll give an honest opinion. I've been doing it 20 years. I've done 5 different agencies, so I've got a good cross section of knowledge.
We seem very happy, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah, I'm passionate about it, and I have to calm myself down because I am that passionate about it. But that's I think you've got to be like that, and I've been doing it 20 years. So.
It's so nice to see an estate agent who's been in the game so long with a smile on his face.
I know.
Can I just say thank you for your time today? Please confirm that neither you nor Ewemove have paid anything to be on the Watkins sofa. I do this because I'm so passionate about the self-employed estate agency model. I know it's not for everyone, and I must stress for 80% of people it isn't, but for the right people, it is absolutely fantastic. And I think the brilliant thing about the Ewemove franchise, and I said I'm not being paid to say this, is that whilst the costs are slightly higher up front, you haven't got to give away 20, 30, 40% of your fee.
You keep a massive part of your income, grow your business.
So do check them out, see what you think for yourself. I'm a huge fan of them, as I am with other franchise models, with your Belvoirs, your Martin & Co's, your Whitegates, EXPs, your Keller Williams. I'm into them all. They all have positives and negatives, but do your homework, listen to what Paul's got to say, listen to what everyone else has got to say, and make your own decision. Can I just say thank you for your time and effort for coming up the M11 and the A1 today to see us today. You've been an absolute star. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for your time.